Last year, Mason, my oldest boy, was in kindergarten, and this year my second boy is in kindergarten, and in 2 years I'll have another boy in kindergarten. And so going into it, beginning with Mason, I'd never had a kindergartner before, so I didn't really know what to expect. And he just zipped through the program, and I was just amazed at how quickly he was learning to read. He started to learn to read within maybe a first month. Probably not even that long when he was starting to sound out his first words, which I was not expecting at all. I expected him to be starting to learn to read the end of school year. Anyway, but like I said, I didn't know what to expect, and so I just kind of thought it was normal, and we got to the end of the school year and everything, and he was just doing so great and reading brilliantly and could read really big words and stuff by the end of the year, which I was just amazed by, and has gone into first grade and is just reading wonderful, just very smooth and great reader. My second boy had struggled a little bit, and I was a lot more nervous about him. He was younger than my first boy going into kindergarten, and so I kind of had a lot of anxiety about whether or not I should send him and stuff. And he knew his alphabet, but not super well, and didn't really know his letter sounds very well and stuff. And anyway, but he went into the program, and he went in actually at the same time that I have a nephew that went in, and they're fairly close in age, just a few months apart. And within a few weeks of the same thing, he started learning to read words and sound out words. And my nephew, at the end of probably 4 or 5 months, still wasn't doing that. Are you going to join in this? Thank you. He, by the end of around Christmas time, I remember my mom told me that he was still sounding out the alphabet, that they were still working on alphabet letters and things with them. And by Christmas time, Ethan was reading mini books, and I could get out books from our shelf, and he could read most of the words, and there were a few big words that maybe he might need help with. And at this point, yesterday he sounded out the word extraordinary, which I was blown away by. When I saw it on his homework sheet, I thought, oh my goodness, there's no way he's going to be able to sound that word out. There's just no way. He just broke it down into little chunks and then put it all together and then kept saying it, and the next thing I knew, he went, it's extraordinary. And I was like, how on earth did he figure that out? But it's just brilliant. It's such a brilliant program. The way that they learn to read everything with the sounds, the way they blend together in the long words is just so perfect. It's so much smarter than the way I've seen other schools teach the kids how to read by breaking up the words individually by the sounds. Anyway, it makes them such smooth and fluent readers. It's just brilliant. What was one of the other things I was telling you? Oh, our neighborhood they're going to be building a kindergarten next year, and I was telling a neighbor lady that I was going to go in and demand that they use this system for the kindergartners, because I've seen how brilliant it is and how awesome it works. And my 3-year-old will be going into kindergarten in 2 years, and I do not want him doing any other curriculum but this curriculum. I want him doing this, what is it,
Reading with Giggles and Games.
Reading with Giggles and Games? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it. Reading with Giggles and Games. Anyway, but I told her, I was like, I'm going to go in there and insist that they purchase this stuff, because he has to learn that way. It's the only way to learn how to read. A friend and I were talking yesterday. She was over with her kids, and she has a little boy that's in the class too. And we were talking about how brilliant it is and how well thought out it is. And I told her, I said, all year I've been saving his homework sheets, because I want to start doing the same thing with the 3-year-old before he even gets into kindergarten. I would really love to buy the curriculum and be doing it with him for preschool and stuff at home. I'm starting a daycare as well, and so I really want to purchase the program so that I can use it with the preschool kids and anyway, kind of get them set up. I'm guaranteed that my 3-year-old will learn to read faster than any of my other kids have because of it. Anyway, so anything else? The little mini books that the kids take home I love how they're always based upon the things that they've just been learning in school, the AR sound, the ER sound, and stuff, and it reinforces it so quickly after they've learned it. And I save them. I save all the little mini books. Well, my son is in first grade, and I save all of his as well. And the other day I was pulling out the mini books and looking at them and wondering if my kindergartner could read my first grade, my first grade boys' mini books. And as I was looking through them, I realized that they would be pretty simple for him to read because they're actually quite a bit easier than his mini books from kindergarten are. And my first grader, when he went into first grade, the teacher told us that she really wanted them to work on their fluency and their speed while they read, and that to make it smooth reading and everything. And he brought home his first mini book, and it was so simple for him after being in the program that he just read it through as if he'd been reading it all along, like he'd already read it 3 or 4 times. And I looked at him and I thought, I don't know if you need to keep reading it, you're already fluent in it, And they have, and still to this day, he brings home his mini books and he just whips through them so quickly because they're just so simple for him that he's fluent as soon as he reads it. It's just amazing. So anyway, compared to the first grade reading, my husband actually teaches my son in Sunday school at church, and he teaches a group of boys, and the boys that have been in the kindergarten program, we've kind of noticed and kept track. There's him and another little boy in his class that have both been in Mrs. Montgomery's kindergarten program here at Reese Elementary, and they, my husband's telling me all the time that they are far better readers than even the older kids that are in their class. There are some kids that are in second grade now, and he tells me all the time, he says, oh, they read better, way better than any of the other kids. They're way more fluent and really, really good readers. He's like, it's amazing the difference that you can see in how well they read. Even now in first grade, it makes a difference. So. I work in the primary in my ward. I'm the primary president, and when I have kids come up and help to read the scripture and the theme and different things for primary, I know which kids have been in Mrs. Montgomery's program because of when they've moved in and things, and if they've gone to the school and stuff. I know all the kids pretty well. Anyway, and I can tell just by the reading how smooth it is and everything, which kids, I always know which kids have been in the program because their reading actually a lot of the time is better than like the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th grade kids that I've seen in there. So anyway, it's really awesome. Yeah, if you're thinking about purchasing the home program for it, absolutely you want to do it. It's so well thought out, and it's easy to use. It's easy to explain to your children. The instructions are all there on the sheets. It's amazing how quickly they can take the songs and the homework sheets, and it all just blends together so perfectly that, and the kids just absorb it so quickly. It's amazing how easily they're just little sponges. It blew my mind to see my son just so quickly pick up the songs and then pick up the sounds, and never, I expected him at some points to start forgetting some of the things that he might have learned early on in the year, and he just hasn't. Everything just stays fresh in his mind because they have the songs and they have all the little the alphabet letters that they look at, and all the homework sheets, just review it, and then the mini books, and I mean, it's easy to use, it's so brilliant, and it's super easy as a parent to follow and keep track of where they are and how to use the program, so you definitely would want to do it.